Welcome to the vlog. I'm Jamie. It is August 16th, 2020 at about 8:10 p.m. Um, Today was a very interesting day. So I woke up on my own this morning. I kind of woke up between 7 and 8:30. That's when the dogs start like getting in my face and nudging me and wanting to go out and food and stuff. So they're on a schedule, which tends to keep me on a schedule. Excuse me. And same thing with the kid. She's on her school schedule and stuff, so that tends to keep me on a schedule. Scheduling has always been something I've kind of struggled with. I guess you could say time management, but it's because like the creative side of me doesn't operate on a okay, you have this hour to brainstorm. It comes when it comes. So anyway, I'm digressing. Uh Deviating. Uh anyway, back to where I was. Woke up this morning, no kid in my bed, which was awesome. But it was very quiet in the house too. So I was like, what? Is she sleeping in? This never happens. No, she was in her room. She pulled up her tablet and she was watching like her favorite YouTuber because she has got a Kid City app for Kid City is her favorite YouTuber. They have a little girl in their family that they videotape playing with the rest of the other kid and the mom and the dad. And the little girl looks like her. So I think this is a way of an only child dealing with the isolation of missing a parent because dad is deployed and has been since February. And we've had some very, um, it's just every deployment has its own challenges. Deployments during a pandemic, especially challenging, let's say that. So there's a lot we can't say. And I appreciated something that Eric said when he said that if you make a promise to people for secrecy, it's okay to keep that promise. Like, we live in a world where we think transparency is king, but the truth is, some things are kept private for a very good reason. And living in the submarine world, like my husband can come home from work and I say, "How was your day?" He's like, "God, it was really rough," and that's where the conversation ends. Um, I don't need to know. He deals with weapons. I don't need to know, and is what it is. My job is to support him. So, and his job is to do the same for us. So, anyway, back to that. Kid was watching something in her room on her own. Yay! Huge win. So, because I was feeling more well rested after the drive-in movie last night, which we left after the first movie. She fell asleep 15 minutes into it, so there wasn't really much to share there. Kung Fu Panda 2, not a slam dunk. So, um, anyway, I slept in a bit. We left around 10 a.m. and it was getting hot. Like it was, we live by the water and it was about by the Sinclair Inlet, um, in a little town called Paulsbo. That's all you're gonna get. So it was hot. Like it was, I guess the temperature, the weather station near us, said it was like 85. And my car and my thermometer in my house when we got home at 6 o'clock said it was 100. So it was ugly today, however you want to slice it. It was probably the hottest day it's been all year. Anyway, we headed up to Crystal Mountain Resort in Mount Rainier and took the gondola up to the top. It's about a 2 hour drive there. We only spent about 30 minutes on the mountain, but for about half of it, she had a really stellar time. We ate cupcakes on the mountain, and that kind of brings me back to like what I wanted to talk about here. My parents are wonderful people. I'm adopted. I feel like I won the parent lottery with them, and I'm not making a secret of that. Um, at the same time, they were very busy, and it's not a down thing, and things happen in adult lives, and I'm an adult now. That's my Great Pyrenees. So I get it that things happen and things get overlooked, or I promise doesn't mean so much. But when I promise to do something, I need to follow through that promise as an adult. Because I remember very clearly the disappointment and how those little disappointments just kind of added up and added up and added up and added up, right? Um, Even though my parents, honestly, I feel like they did a pretty bang up job of raising my brother and I. Um, so yeah, we drove up there. We took the gondola to the top. We took some great smiley, totally happy pictures, which were legit. We had cupcakes, these mini chocolate cupcakes we picked up at a store on our way up there. Um, and then she's like, "My tummy hurts, Mom. I'm tired." And I'm pretty sure there were at least Probably, I won't say at least, probably at least at most two absent seizures while we were up there. She was done. So the top of Crystal Mountain is about 7,000 feet, a little over 7,100, something like that. And it was hot. I mean, it was 90 degrees probably on top of the mountain. And we were getting bombarded and flooded by ladybugs, which was fun and cute for a while, but the kid, like, her tolerance for that was gone pretty quickly. I had to pick three of them out of her pigtails and insist she puts on her hat so they don't keep flying on her. They love your hair for some reason. Um, but another interesting thing that's come up is that she is noticing that my skin color is different than hers. She inherited her dad's super pasty white skin. I am not. I am. It's hard to tell on this with this lighting, but I'm originally from Southern California. I've got some Native American in me somewhere. And I take the sun. I don't burn. I turn brown, and that's about it. I mean, like, I work outside right now, so gotta love those tan lines, right? So I've got these wonderful little tan lines going on. Because trainers, well, basically have to work outside. In Washington State, you need 300 square feet around people indoors. That's really hard to do from a trainer. Outdoors, we have a little more leeway, leverage. There's a lot more circulating air, obviously. So I work outdoors a lot, and I wear a lot of sunscreen and hats so that I don't have a mask face and sunglasses. Um, but moving from Southern California to Washington, I got oh, you're one of those California transplants. Yes. And despite that, this is where the Navy sent us in 2011. I have wanted to try to move here for years. It's a theater hotspot, or was pre-COVID. We'll see what happens afterwards. And I love being able to tap into that. I had first had illusions of living in Seattle. I now understand that the financial obligations of that are insurmountable for most people, unless I want a really tiny apartment. And at the time I moved up here, it was me and my boxer dog. And it was hard to find a place that would take the two of us, but I wasn't going to give up my dog that it had forever um, before I moved here. So, yeah, long story short, made it work over in Kitsap. So, and here I am. Um, I love the change of seasons. It's funny that it's so hot right now. Because the last time I can remember it being this, like, dyingly hot and humid in the summer, um, I was super pregnant with her. And that was a big surprise and a huge detour in my life. And I don't want to, describe my daughter as a detour, but, like, all of these things that happen are like detours from where we thought we were going to go. Like, I had an Olympic weightlifting potential that was pretty solid. I had won some regional strongmans in my weight class and my age bracket at the time, and my clean and jerk and my snatch lifts were pretty solid. I was going up. I was getting better and better and better, and then I got pregnant, and that made me kind of put the brakes on a little bit, or try to. Um, it wasn't the getting pregnant that made me put the brakes on. I competed pregnant and qualified for nationals and international competition while pregnant up until June, and she was born in August, early August, so mid-August. Um, so yeah, I mean, that was a thing. Um, and then I had a kid that didn't sleep more than 45 minutes at a stretch and was exclusively nursing, which meant that there was one person up with her all night, every night. And the exhaustion caught up with me very quickly. And in fact, she didn't start sleeping through the night until she was almost 4. So now we have her mostly sleeping through the night, but if there's a glitch or a bump in the schedule, she's back into crawling into my bed, and then things, happen, accidents and whatnot. So it's been a different kind of journey, and I think this is something most parents maybe, but especially most mothers can relate to. It's really easy to lose yourself with young children. You become like the the caretaker of the child and the caretaker of the house and the caretaker of the husband. But what happened to you? What happened to things you enjoyed? You put them on pause until they're 18 or 20, or like how does that work? So I think I'm slowly figuring out like how to find my voice again, and trusting that it'll be heard, and that I don't know, that finding, and this experiment has already helped with that, finding value in the things that are artistically and I guess spiritually important to me versus the things that are just, mundane. I guess like laundry, floors. My house may not be the cleanest, my house may not be the most organized, but my life is pretty good. And if I don't know, the amount of judgment is ridiculous. I don't hoard. My house is livably clean. Um, but yeah, learning to find my voice and make space and hold space for myself, like I hold space for my kid, and I hold space for my husband, and I hold space for my friends, and I hold space for my clients. Finding that necessity of holding space for myself uh, is, I think, a huge part of my journey this year. And I'm very grateful I stumbled over Eric's little experiment, because it's already, I don't know, helping me see things a little differently. So unfortunately, Eric, I'm going to steal your tagline just because it's amazing. And you should totally open a radio show if you happen to be listening to this, because you have the voice for it, you've got the words for it, you've got the brilliance for it. And this is Jamie, and tomorrow will be better.